Teach your children three things: love for your Prophet, love for his family, love for Quran reciters. Teach your children three things: love for your Prophet, love for his family, love for Quran reciters.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Anbiya'i wal Mursaleen. Amma ba'd, fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My dear respected viewers of Madani Channel, we are once again back with a beautiful program, Parenting Skills. In this program, we talk about how can we better raise our children, better parenting. What are the skills? Inshallah Azza wa Jal, we'll be talking about few cases. Actually, when we started this program, before that, we had conducted a public survey. We received a very good response from your end. You shared few challenges, what you're facing when you are upbringing your children. We've got few cases in front of us, inshallah. We'll discuss them with our professional doctor, Zirek Attari, inshallah, and we'll take professional advice from him. Without any further delay, let's go towards him. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Rasul, how are you doing?
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, ala kulli hal. How are you?
I'm good, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Rasul, thank you very much once again. You've given your precious time to us.
Jazakallah.
Rasul, when we did the public survey, mashallah, you took this initiative and we received very good positive response. And people, they wrote to us, they have shared their problems with us and they want a professional advice on this. So very interesting and very good response what is in front of me, which I would like to start with, and I would definitely need your point of view on that too. But a very good thing what I've found here, that mashallah, these parents, they look very content and they seem very thankful in the court of Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. It is written a case for a 14 years of age, a boy is there, and he's not suffering from any health or mental health illnesses. He's not taking any regular medication, and there is no family history involved. So the parents, they're writing that the boy is very good, humble, and does as he is told. And we are thankful to Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala. Now, the strategies what they have written, that what they've adopted is listen, talk, and fulfill the needs. Okay, and further suggestions they have written, we need to be interacting with our children and we need to find out if there are any issues like bullying going on in school or something. So this is what, mashallah, the response we have received. We have received many responses, but mashallah, this is, I think, a role model what we can take. What do you think?
Now, definitely, when I was analyzing the responses and selecting them for our program, when I came across this and I wanted to include this, although there is no problem in this, but Alhamdulillah, look at whoever, whether it's the mother or the father, they're saying that they're very grateful to Allah that they have no issues with their child. And he's a very humble boy and he does what he's been told to do. Now, that takes a lot of courage, that takes a lot of positive thinking, that they are giving us a feedback and they are clearly, I mean, no one is perfect, but they have got positive thinking about their child. They are looking at his positive aspects rather than the negative aspects.
But they've also shared the strategies they've adopted.
Exactly, I'll come to that. Now, definitely, if they are saying that their child is humble and he does what he's told to do, that is, I can actually assume from this that these parents themselves are very humble.
Mashallah.
And they are very respectful to their parents. Because a lot of this behavior, as I say previously, with all the children, their behavior mostly is learned or it is copied from the parents, from the other family members. So this child's parents must be humble and they must be obedient to their parents as well, which is why this child is also humble and respectful to his parents. And clearly this is transferred in the genes as well. Like in English they say chip of the old block. So our behavior, at the end of the day, if we look at it from a medical point of view, parents' characteristics, they are transferred to their generation two ways. One is by copying the behavior and learning the behavior, but that is not all. As a father, if I look at my child,
Yeah.
he does certain things which I have not demonstrated in front of him.
Yeah.
But he's doing it.
He's doing it.
And I'm thinking, wow, I've never actually displayed that behavior, but that's very much like me.
Yeah.
The answer to that is
Genetics.
a lot of my characteristics are transferred via the genetic
Yeah.
code, the DNA.
Right.
Looking at it purely from a biological point of view.
Yeah.
So what I do in my life, it actually transfers into my genes.
Subhanallah.
And I don't want to go into all the chemical bases and the protein changes and so forth, and how it is encoded in the genes and so forth. But all I can say is that what I do today, the effect of this will go onto my children.
That will reflect.
So clearly these parents would be humble and respectful as well, and look at the things that they are doing. So what they say is that they listen to his or her needs, and they talk to the children, and they see if they are having any issues,
Yeah.
whether in the school or other walk of lives. Listening. What does listening mean?
It's very important. We
Listening
witness a
means
lot.
that the child is talking and you are sitting quietly and you're taking in that information without being judgmental and without, interrupting them and giving them sort of like decisions or advice.
Yeah.
So they say they listen, and then they say they talk as well. So when there are any issues and the problems, they ask them. So it is that positive, open, non-judgmental approach that these parents are using. And definitely this is one of the role model that our parents need to be. That we need to look at the positive aspects. We need to be grateful to Allah Azza wa Jal for Him blessing us with the children. And clearly our own behavior when we were young, and the tarbiyat and the training given to us by our parents, and a significant role of this training and tarbiyat is from the mother.
True.
And by nature, obviously, even if we look in this society, without any sort of like gender bias, but mother is the one who spends most time with the child.
Yeah.
Mother is the one who instill lots of these good characteristics in the children.
True.
So basically, I would actually give a lot of credit
MashaAllah. And
to
there's a
these
learning
parents.
for the viewers of Madani Channel. Other parents, how can they learn these skills when they are doing a better parenting, isn't it?
Yes.
MashaAllah. Doctor, there's another case I would like to include in today's program. A boy, and age is 19, and no physical or mental health illness, no regular medication, and no family history. The problem the parents they've mentioned is that mobile, this is the first problem they've mentioned, and disrespect. As far as the question strategies adopted is concerned, they have written not much. So what do you say to this particular case?
Okay, well, so we got a 19-year-old teenager, and all the parents have written is two things: mobile and disrespect.
And they have not adopted quite much.
So they probably may not be clear. So the main issue what I would highlight in this one is the mobile phone. Now the mobile phone, clearly a great invention of this time.
It is.
Most definitely, without any doubt, it has got huge amount of benefits if it is used correctly. You can use the mobile phone to obviously, learn knowledge, to educate yourself, to find out about the news, and many other things. And basically mobile phone is everything for you in this day and age. It is your navigation system, it is a TV for you. You want to watch Madani Channel on it, you can watch it, and it is a means of communication, it's an email, everything is come into the mobile phone. And life without a mobile phone in this day and age, you can imagine if your phone gets lost and the impact that it has on you. Now clearly someone who's 19, they've stepped into adult life, they've stepped into adulthood, so they will need all the sort of like interaction they need, whether it is with their friends, whether it is with other people, and mostly these teenagers, they use the mobile phone for social media and also to play games. Now this is where the harm bits come, especially the online games. So with the online games, I mean, I'm mentioning the harms. Now, everyone, I don't need to obviously go into the details of this. So the side effects of these mobile phones, one is online games, because they can spend a lot of time, and that has got lots of, negative impact on the physical health and the mental health and your self-esteem and the confidence levels and so forth. And there's a lot of research that actually proves that. Then in terms of the social media use, I mean, the negative side of that is clearly bullying, cyberbullying especially in particular. There are also lots of other problems associated with this. By us being on Madani Channel, clearly the family may be watching this program together. So
inappropriate sites.
So, inappropriate sites and all these other issues from a social media perspective. Also, too much connectivity with the mobile phone. And if you are not connected, you are sending a message, then you are not receiving the reply, then you start getting anxious. All the time you're connected. Someone's walking around, they're using the phone. Someone's crossing the road, they're using the phone. Someone's going down the stairs, they're using the phone. Someone's on the bicycle, they're using the phone. Someone's driving, they're using the phone. Now, clearly with the teenagers, because definitely in these situations, it is dangerous to use the mobile phone, whether it is a teenager or an adult. So the other issue is that when you are 18, 19, this is very crucial time of your life. You're taking your A-level exams, you may be moving on to university, and it is just these couple of years that will determine the rest of your life.
Very right.
But unfortunately, teenagers won't be able to understand this. So they end up obviously using the mobile phone, and these are the negative consequences. Now, why have I mentioned all these negative consequences? I'm trying to tell these two. This is the first case where I'm now addressing the teenager. Because unless they know about these problems, then they will not think twice about it. Now, clearly, their academic performance can be affected because they may not be able to concentrate in the classroom and so forth. The parents need to tell them about these things in a sensitive manner as well. And clearly, the parents have to teach their children before they actually give them the mobile phone. And there have to be, again, strict boundaries on the use of mobile phone. So the parents need to actually explain these issues and the problems and the negative things. And they can use. Now, they have to actually, again, spend time with their child on this. Again, this is an issue where, like I previously mentioned, the parents should have kept their control in this particular situation from the beginning. Now a teenager has got the mobile phone and he's spending hours and hours and hours. It's going to be very difficult. And again, what happens is the parents end up being harsh with them. They end up basically taking the phone off from them. And what it does is, it basically just makes them become more rebellious. Now, clearly, in the community, many parents have discussed some of these issues where they say, we've taken the mobile phone away from him. Now, he is obviously going to wait and see until he gets the phone back. And then he will be back to the same routine. And now, this time, he will try to hide it from the parents so that they don't find out. And children in these cases can be very clever. And they can very easily hide lots of things from the parents.
Whatever they give phone to their children.
So whenever the parents decide that this is the there is a need for the child to have the phone for the right reasons, they can decide that it will be different for each child. The circumstances can be different. But never ever give the phone without a contract. Without the rules and the regulations, without the boundaries. And if I ask the question, how many parents actually get a contract between the child and the parent before they give the phone? Verbally, very few. Written, none.
True.
Why am I saying written contract? Obviously, it will make the parents think about it and keep reviewing that contract. Because with the children, when things happen and you say, we agreed upon this, they may challenge it. Why? Because your wording may be slightly different than what actually was agreed. But if it's in writing, okay, these are the set times for you to use the phone. You are not going to use the phone when you are revising for your studies. Okay, you will not have such and such app on your mobile phone. You will not use such and such sort of social media websites and so on and so forth. These are the things that you can use your mobile phone for. If you are found to be in breach of these rules and regulations, agree with the child what will be the sanctions. And then when be consistent with applying those sanctions, but overall do it with love and affection.
Okay. MashaAllah, also very good. Dear respected viewers of Madani Channel, we need to have a relationship with our children. We need to build a relationship of a friendship. Right? We need to listen to them. We need to talk to them. And beautifully said, mashallah, if we are able to write something down and rules and regulations to discipline our children, that's a very good solution, a beautiful idea to do, inshallah. And another point which was mentioned in this particular case was disrespect. And normally when the children, they grow up, especially this age, I think 18, 19, maybe from 14 onwards, they tend to be, a bit harsh in their behavior. Maybe they are becoming more independent, or they want to do things on their own. They don't want anybody guiding them or instructing them. Maybe that's the reason they react, and parents, they think that this is not the right way to talk or behave. What do you think about this?
Clearly, disrespecting the parents or the children who are disrespectful is a big problem in this society. And there are lots and lots of parents who actually complain to the Islamic Brothers of Dawat Islami, or those who are attached with the Madani environment of Dawat Islami, that their children are disrespectful. Now, this is where again I would actually put the responsibility on the parents. Now, clearly this is going to be very difficult for parents to accept. That why are you putting the responsibility on my shoulders for my child who is disrespectful? Well, the child needed to actually observe in his lifetime in the home respect being displayed.
MashaAllah.
So if I'm a husband, then I should be showing respect to obviously the household, my parents, other sort of brothers and sisters of me. If I'm disrespectful to other members of my family, if I'm disrespectful to my parents, if I'm disrespectful to my brothers and sisters, then that's what the children are copying. I refuse to accept from a psychological point of view or a professional point of view that if the parents themselves are showing respect and demonstrating respect in front of the children, and their children will turn out to be disrespectful. Okay? Yeah, it's not going to be 100%, but 99% should be respectful children. Yeah. And again, it goes back to, if me as a parent, if I was disrespectful in my childhood or in my teenage years, then you reap what you sow. So the seed that I have sown of disrespect is what I'm getting back, what I'm reaping from my own children as well. So unfortunately, the parents need to actually learn how to demonstrate respect.
Absolutely right, mashallah. Very valid point, what you have explained. There's also very important understanding that the teachings, what we are teaching, right? As you said, we should bring them, we should listen to them, we should talk to them. But what sort of teachings we are instilling in their minds, that's also important. I think that those, mashallah, those children, they have got an understanding of Islam. They know that what is the respect of mother, what is the respect of father. Alhamdulillah, we find them, those they have learned the proper teachings of Islam, they tend to kiss the feet of their mother. They tend to kiss the hands of their father. They stand up when they see their parents, right? They know the worth of their parents. They know what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has taught and what rights he has told. But unfortunately, we don't know ourselves. We have not learned them. How can we teach to our children? So I think very good idea would be, if you want respect, then you should learn the rights which are mentioned in Islam, and first learn yourself, then teach them to your children. I hope once your child knows the respect Islam is taught when it comes the respect of mother or father, alhamdulillah, your children will respect, inshaAllah Azza wa Jal. Doctor, another case which I would like to include in today's episode, that is a boy who is 14 years of age, and there is no physical or mental health illness involved, no regular medication, no family history. The problem parents they have shared with us is that he is moody and he doesn't pay attention to studies and education. This is the problem they are facing. And the strategies they have adopted, they've mentioned, they are being polite with him and try to explain how important education is for his future. This is a common, I think, very common case scenario where the many parents who are watching, they want their children, they excel in their studies, they get good grades, they do better performance in their education, and so that the future of this dunya can become better. Definitely there's another perspective. What is the real future, right? What we should be more concerned of, definitely that's the hereafter. But as far as the question is concerned, that's also important, that the education. What do you think?
Now clearly, I mean, if we address the education point of view, it is the need of this time. The worldly education, the religious education, if ultimately you look at it, that the society needs doctors,
definitely,
to
engineers,
treat the sick. The society needs engineers to build the buildings.
True.
The society needs obviously scholars so that they can obviously, guide the society.
Scientists.
And scientists are needed in many different ways.
True.
Now, in some ways, if I could say that the doctors are needed, that's very important.
It is.
And to treat the sick and so forth. So, Islam does not discourage us from the worldly education. That's number one. That's sometimes maybe a misconception in the mind of the people, that those who are religious, they don't think about the worldly education. Now, Dawat Islami, alhamdulillah Azza wa Jal, has started a whole institution by the name of Darul Madina, where the top class worldly education will be given to the children.
And mashallah, there's a live example. Dr. Zina Gattari is sitting on the platform of Dawat Islami, who is well educated, qualified, UK qualified doctor, mashallah, and he's sitting here giving us advice. So this is Dawat Islami. So dear respective viewers of Madani Channel, we need to understand that we need to be very good doctors, very good engineers, very good scientists, but we should also be very good practicing Muslims. This is the whole point. Doctor, please carry on.
And if, to be honest, I once was reading the Holy Quran, and alhamdulillah, our Shaykh Tariqat Amir al-Sunnah gives us the mindset to read at least 3 verses of the Holy Quran. And I was reading Tafsir Siratul Jinan. And Mufti Qasim Atari, Damat Barakatumul Aliyah, in one verse of the Holy Quran which talks about the signs in the universe for the humans, for the believers. And he copies the commentary of this particular verse of Imam Ghazali rahmatullah ta'ala alayh. And when I read that commentary of Imam Ghazali rahmatullah alayh on this particular verse, and he was saying that simply looking at the sky and pondering, looking at the stars and pondering, that's something that the animals can do as well.
Okay.
Right? But what you need to do is look beyond the stars, look at the creation of Allah Azza wa Jal, think about it. And obviously, he mentions, obviously I can't remember in detail, but he beautifully describes, which encourages an individual to ask questions, find the answer. That's what science is. That's exactly what science is. You put a question, you don't know the answer, find the answer.
Explore it.
Explore it. This is what the research is. This is what the methodology of science is. So that's one issue, that the worldly education is extremely important. But at the same time, if we can't compare the worldly and the religious education. The religious education is far better.
It is.
Than the worldly education. But this does not mean that I'm devaluing the worldly education. I'm just saying that the status of the religious education is much higher. Now, that's one issue. And
it's a common concern you were talking about. That parents, they are concerned that children, they are not doing better in their education.
Yeah. I hope that, I mean, if, this particular child is watching, and this sort of like may encourage him to actually spend time and concentrate on his studies, or the parents can tell him about this. But the other thing is, does he have any role models in his family to motivate him, to, educate him to a higher level?
Right.
Does he have friends who are academically bright and intelligent?
That has a lot of impact, yeah.
If on the other hand, he hasn't got any role models in his family, he hasn't got any friends who are academically bright, and he is hanging around with those children who are wasting time, so that's the cause that the parents need to address.
Good.
Now, coming to the moody side of this 14-year-old.
Yeah.
Now, 14 year of age is when the hormones in the body, they start changing.
Okay.
So yeah, as you're reaching closer to the adulthood, then the hormone levels in your body are changing. And especially with males, the male hormones, they make you a bit more aggressive. They make you a bit more, emotional. They make you a bit more, take the risks.
Right.
And do those activities which give you a buzz.
Okay.
So he may be obviously setting the step into that sort of phase where, from a hormones point of view, his body is asking him to do certain things. And if the parents then say, no, you can't do it, then he will become moody. That's one reason. The second reason is the direct impact of these hormones on his brain and on his behavior. He may be getting more angry, he may be getting more sort of aggressive, and he may be raising his tone of voice and so forth, and the parents are perceiving this as a moody. So this is again an area where the parents need to develop a better understanding of their child. They need to be aware of the changes that are happening from a hormone point of view in his body. Now clearly, they themselves have gone through that phase.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you forget about these things.
Yeah.
How difficult it was for me. So again, try to put yourself in the shoes of this child. Go back 10, 15 years, 20 years, when you were in that, time period. And how were you dealing with your life at that time? And sometimes this can be enough when you try to put yourself in the shoes of your child and you go back to your life. How was I when I was of his age?
Yeah.
And that can sometimes actually give lots of answers.
MashaAllah, lots of beautifully, dear respected viewers of Madani Channel, few cases we presented in front of you, and these were your responses. And Alhamdulillah, we have sought a professional advice from Dr. Zirak Attari. I hope you must have benefited. Inshallah, you will watch a few more beautiful episodes, and we will share your challenging experiences, what you are facing, inshallah, with Dr. Zirak Attari, and we will seek advice from him, inshallah. Until next episode, keep watching Madani Channel, keep reciting Salat upon Nabi alayhi salatu wassalam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Teach your children three things: love for your Prophet, love for his family, love for Quran recital. Teach your children three things: love for your Prophet, love for his family, love for Quran recital.